very, very hyperactive. Um, People would say I was spoiled. I don't think so. I would call it loved. Came from like a lower class middle family. Grew up in Southern California, Downey specifically. Um, Mom and dad divorced at a young age. My mom was lucky enough to remarry, and found a man that, really loved her. And long story short, how I was entertained as a kid was watching television, watching TV, and escaping the realities of being bored as a kid to the fantasy worlds and stuff. And I was really inspired watching motion pictures and television shows to be an actor. That's why I decided to be an actor, just because I was so influenced by the shows I watched as a kid, just like obviously Power Rangers, and the list goes on and on and on. But as I started getting older, I was kind of like a wise ass. I was definitely difficult for my mom. My mom would enroll me into like martial arts classes to just learn, respect and discipline, and that really helped me. They tried to basically, control me and to teach me some structure, and I needed that at that age. That not having a dad really, and having an amazing stepdad take over, but my stepdad knowing his role where I can't really hit this kid. So I basically grew up without any father figure. I was really rambunctious and wild. So yeah, martial arts helped me. And
when did you start? When did you start martial arts?
I started around 7 or 8 years old. Okay. Taekwondo at the local Y, and it was great. It was great. And after high school, I decided to move to Hollywood, and I was working at Valley Total Fitness, selling memberships at the time, and just basically getting by, and then auditioning for Power Rangers, and I could never book it. I could always get to like the producers in the last 2 or 3. I was up for I remember I was up for Time Force, for Quantum, didn't get that.
Really?
Yeah, right. But look who they picked. It's so much better that they picked, Daniel Southworth. I remember auditioning. He was in front of me. He was before me. He was all stretching, doing some amazing stretches. I'm always trying to memorize my lines for the audition. He's doing all these crazy martial art moves, and I'm like, man, I don't know, I'm gonna get this. He's messing up my mind. That man was. But man. Basically, I was a kid. I was kind of wild and kind of crazy, and I'm still kind of like that, but I'm definitely at 33. But I'm definitely a lot more humbled, even though some people wouldn't agree. But I feel like I've humbled out a lot compared to how I used to be. Nothing like a couple grays to humble you, if you know what I mean. A couple grays, just for men. Just for men. That's a definite auto stop now. If anyone out there works with Just for Men, damn, that's a free commercial, free plug right there. Painting. But man, I always wanted to be an actor. Didn't know how to do it. Didn't know anybody. My family are just regular people, hardworking people, and moved to Hollywood and just been plugging away ever since. And lucky enough to actually been able to work. If you're able to work one day in Hollywood, that's great. But let alone be on an actual show. And to be honest, man, Power Rangers, I wasn't ever happiest. I wasn't ever happy. I wasn't ever I was the happiest while I was doing Power Rangers. Once Power Rangers ended, man, I was kind of bummed. I was really depressed. I was like, man, I went from working, doing what I love, being in the element that I felt I deserved and I worked so hard for, and then it just ends. You're just like, I went through it for a minute. 10 years later, 32 or whatever, 31, whatever, and Jonathan Zakur and all them, he's back with Saban, and they wanted me to go to New Zealand and be the bad guy, and that's how it all came about, and the second time around, I think I'm a little better actor. I've learned, I lived, and the show's amazing, and the kids were great. I call them kids. When you're 33 and they're 21, come on, man, kids. And man, I trip out sometimes. I trip out how I'm part of American pop culture. Power Rangers is literally a part of pop culture. It's not going no place ever, I don't think. And I think I said during those little interviews up there, how I feel like I've done my part. I want to keep working as an actor. Obviously, I'm not trying to tell the universe I don't ever want to work again, but I feel like if I never did work again, I would be pretty, at least not satisfied, but at least happy with the fact that I made a little dent, put a little dent in this universe. You know, a little impact. I'm definitely like, I definitely want to keep working. I feel like I could contribute a lot more as an actor, and hopefully the right role comes along.
So you auditioned for Time Force.
Yeah.
And then
Who knows what other years before that? I probably even auditioned for a few seasons before that.
Oh, really?
I guess they liked me, but maybe they had issues. They never really went into why. I think I know why.
Why do you think so?
Maybe they thought that I was like too egotistical or too over the top or like too, you know, like. I don't know. Maybe the word is egotistical, but you know, I was able to prove to them over maybe all those damn auditions, just trying to book the job, that maybe I wasn't like that, and I had to work extra hard once I got the job to keep them like that. You know, I felt like people were always, you know, looking for me to mess up. So Wild Force was a wild experience, you know, because it was my first real yes. And growing up as a kid, I just wanted to act, man. I just wanted to be on a show. I just wanted to do me. But I never considered like having to get along with the other actors. I never considered that. Oh, what? You have to actually get along with the other actors as well? Duh. But I never considered that as a kid or doing this business. I just did it for me and obviously for the fans. When you do work, I do it for them as well. But in the beginning, I'm doing it for me, represent myself, represent my family, pay my bills. But yeah, man, I'm just so like I booked it and I just been literally just it's been like a whirlwind ever since. And Wild Force, the cast was great, good actors. I loved the series of Wild Force. I think we had a good time. You know, there obviously you have ups and downs. Sometimes you don't get along, sometimes you fight, sometimes they annoy you, sometimes I annoy them when you're spending 6 days a week, 15-hour days. It's understandable, you know, so I can't say it was all like, you know, peaches and cream, you know, I'm just being honest. But looking back, you know, 10 years later, after Wild Force, being here, seeing them again, because this is the first time pretty much I've seen them face to face in like maybe 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, man. We were able to just like, you know, just appreciate what we had at that moment, and we realized that only us can know what that feels like, and we squashed whatever we might have had in the past, you know, and it was really, really like a joy just being able to see them. They were cool.